These are the top 10 performing stocks that sent the Dow over 27,000. It has been a wild ride. Stocks have been aggressive. They've been interesting to say the least. With ultra low interest rates, we have watched risk definitely on the table, and certain companies have benefited from it. Let's take a look at the list. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. If you look at the stock market as a whole, it gives you a different picture of the select few names that have really benefited from what has happened today. First, I'm going to show you the list. Then I'm going to get into more details and talk about the trade issues, talk about the central banks. Let's begin. Number 1, Microsoft. Number 2, Visa. Number 3, Cisco. Number 4, Nike. Number 5, Merck. Number 6, Walt Disney. Number 7, American Express. Number 8, Procter & Gamble. Number 9, McDonald's. And number 10, Pfizer. Here's the list, and you can see the biggest Dow winners since the index hit 26,000. And you're looking at it here on the right-hand side. Percent change since January 17th, 2018. Just giving you an idea over the last year and a half how well these particular companies have done. In the case of Microsoft, 53% increase throughout this period. It has done exceptionally well, even when compared to the others on the list. Although we have seen technology companies do very well in this period, Microsoft has become the top performer. It has done extremely well. If you look at its market cap throughout this period, it had accelerated, becoming the biggest company in the world yet again. Now, certainly by the time you're watching this video, things can change, but just showing you that you rarely have a company that is on the top of the list or near the top for this long. 20 years ago, Microsoft was in the same situation, the biggest company in the world in terms of its market cap. Now we're looking here at a company that is basically everywhere, and it has been pervasive and persistent throughout this period. It never really went down the list that much throughout this several decades here. You're looking at this compared to ExxonMobil and other big institutions that have been fluctuating on and off of these lists, depending if there is a recession, depending if oil is doing well or that particular commodity and so on. We've watched this one here obviously doing really good. Now you're seeing Visa and Cisco and Nike, all the other big names that always do come up seemingly, at least in the last 10 years. They've got a lot of attention, they've got a lot of market cap, and a lot of investors generally putting their money in when they want those blue chip type companies. As an investor, you want to get into something that is obviously going to be stable, that you're going to put your money in and do well over a period of time. Now, what has really contributed to the rise that we have seen in stocks right now over the last year and a half? In fact, what have been the concerns of investors throughout this period? Well, there are two things I'll show you here. You are looking at the chairman, Powell, always having to come out with a new speech every week to ensure that the market understands low interest rates will get lower, and also the fact that this whole tightening or normalization, we are starting to flip the script and we are going to have to become even easier than we already were. The second thing is the trade issues, and this has been a huge concern for investors. So those companies out there that are less exposed to any potential issues going on with China and the US have been doing better than the group like chip makers, for instance, that have been really struggling, that have hit resistance points. This is something that you need to pay attention to. If you're looking for a stock to invest in, if you're looking for a sector, you want less exposure to what's happening with China. Now, that could be another play though, because if everybody's going in one direction, you can definitely take the other. But what we are seeing here with trade issues doesn't seem like it could be resolved anytime anytime soon. This article basically just talking about how there is some changes that are taking place and so on. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of these two very important factors that have sent the market higher in the first place, but also the fact that we have witnessed only a group of stocks going up higher. Now, we're looking at central banks being the reason why we have seen these markets coming up. But when you look at what's happened with the trade issues, there's always this talk about how once this gets resolved, then it's going to push the markets higher, and then the market actually prices that in. So in fact, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The only trouble is if these don't actually hit the mark, if they don't actually occur, then you have a falling down. You have some falling out, if you want to say it like that. This is something that I believe people should be paying attention to, not just right now, but of course for any cycle, for any investment. Pay attention to the possibilities that things could happen, whether it's the trade issues, whether it's some sort of a geopolitical event. We don't know what could happen in these instances, but as they are building, as they are brewing, your eyes should be peeled. That's definitely for sure. I'm going to end the video there. If you found it informative, make sure to hit that like button. When you hit the like button, you are supporting me, so do appreciate that very much. If you want the financial education you were not taught in school, these two books have everything you need. I talk about the issues going on with the US and China, talking about the reserve currencies. I'm talking about central banks. I'm talking about everything that you need to know, all in these two books. So definitely check it out at the link in the description. If you like the audiobook, then you can always get that at themoneygps.com. If you haven't seen this video, then definitely check it out. I talk about what's happened with the stock market elevating to a new high. This is really important to watch. Definitely click on it, and I will see you over there.